Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Ryan the Professional back here again as always with another video. E3 2018 is officially a wrap. You know what I'm saying? We're done. Everybody's pretty much put their videos out there, what they thought, who they thought won, their disappointments, and vice versa. Let me just say a few things real quick before we get into the big three, because I'm not really going to count Ubisoft or any other dev like that right now, because at the end of the day it comes down to Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, because they're the ones with the hardware and they're the ones really battling it out. Ubisoft, EA, and all these other companies are just along for the ride, so that's what really happens. But shout out to JWax412. I had a blast talking with this fool when we were watching the Sony conference. Absolutely hilarious. And definitely Carlos Fernandez as well. My boy, it's funny as hell. Let's get into this, man. So E3 definitely was better than last year. Absolutely better than last year. Last year's E3 was disappointing because a good chunk of the announcements that we were expecting just did not happen, and a lot of us walked away with a sour taste, pretty much. Looking at E3 this year, I can say this without a doubt. Everybody walked away happy. Whether you were on Sony side, Microsoft, or Nintendo side, you walked away happy and you're talking about something. Everybody is definitely on Twitter, very active on Twitter on who they think won. I'm definitely going to touch on this though and give my criticisms as well as my positivity towards, whatever it is. So let's start with Nintendo. Now, Nintendo, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I thought Nintendo's was the weakest out of the three. Not because I have a vendetta against Nintendo. No. I have nothing against Nintendo. I think Nintendo's great. It's just, especially with the Switch. But this show definitely felt like no care went into it. You know what I'm saying? A good chunk of the announcements in here we already kind of knew about. For example, Pokemon Eevee and Pokemon Pikachu, we already saw the video for. They already talked about that Pokeball and how it, interacts with the game and how it affects it and whatnot. We already seen that. Nobody really cares as much about that now after we done seen it before. But it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Pokemon Eevee and Pikachu is out there. The main Pikachu game, which a lot of people were hitting me up when we were watching the live saying, where's that? That's not coming out yet, guys. You're going to have to wait until after this releases for you get that. They did they did show a few third-party games. PUBG is Fortnite. You might as well call it PUBG, but Fortnite is on the Nintendo Switch. So that's good. That's a good win for Nintendo. Finally, they got that. And Dragon Ball FighterZ is coming to the Nintendo Switch. So that was also nice to see. They did get into a few indies. It was mostly 3. And then after that, we got the, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which looked nice. And after that, we immediately got hit with pretty much the last game that took up the majority of the conference, which was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Oh, and Super Mario Party also was shown. But Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was shown. The game looks good. I'm not going to lie. Smash Bros. Ultimate does look good. I can see why a lot of people are excited for it. It looks good. It looks fun. My thing is this, though. They're kind of just, I don't know, they just oversaturated the show with it. You know what I'm saying? Every 5 minutes, it is like, it kept going on. It really kept going on and on and on. You were like, okay, we get it. Why do we have to see everybody's finisher? Why do we have to see all this? Can't we just can't you leave that as a surprise for the people who actually buy it? So that way they know what, everything is? Come on. You don't have to spoil everything. But I do like what they did. I do like that. It was cool. Nice gameplay. Everything looks solid. I do like the new additions. So nice. But that game just, I don't know. It's just not enough. For me, that's just not enough for me to say, oh, that was on par with like a Sony or a Microsoft's event. It just wasn't close. Going into Microsoft's event, now Microsoft's event was pretty straightforward. Virtually every multiplayer game imaginable was on the Microsoft stage, and this plays into what a lot of people are grasping onto now, which they never grasped onto before. But every multiplayer game pretty much, or every multiplat was on Microsoft stage. All the multiplats that we cared about, whether it be a trailer for like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, whether it be gameplay for Devil May Cry 5, which the rumor got debunked. It's not exclusive to PlayStation. It's coming to Xbox and whatever, right? It came down to there. Every multi-plat was on Microsoft's conference, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Presentation-wise, it's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with presentation. But if presentation's the be-all, end-all, right? Because I see so many people putting this in their reviews now, and it's really making me just laugh, but also shake my head. Because last year's E3 with Sony, where they actually paid people to, act like zombies and whatnot. You guys remember the Days Gone gameplay when we first saw the winter gameplay? Remember how he was like going through the little tight spaces and he saw the zombies, the freakers hanging upside down, and then on stage they started acting like the zombies? Remember that? And like the construction and everything was on the stage for the Spider-Man reveal, and the fireball was shooting at the people in the at the stage with I think it was either Monster Hunter reveal or something like that. Y'all remember that? That right there. You notice how nobody gave Sony props for that? Nobody. Especially the orchestra. The main people that were hyping up the orchestra was people who actually were there, but also us. You know what I'm saying? We loved that orchestra. We loved that that show. That was a dope way of starting a conference. But you notice how with that orchestra, right? Nobody wanted to give Sony props for that orchestra. It was only a select few. Everybody was like, oh, this is trash. They sitting there playing music with the games, right? So obviously, presentation does not matter. It's all about the substance within the conference. The meat and potatoes. The games. The content. The hardware. So let's stop putting filters on stuff, okay? Let's stop. Let's just be upfront. Microsoft's E3 2018. Good show, presentation-wise, but I'm going to throw that off to the side. What exactly was shown? We had Halo, Gears, and Forza. That's it. No new IP. No new IP, ladies and gentlemen. No new IP. No new exclusives. No new anything. Okay? Yes, I'm also going to throw this out here. They purchased some studios with Playground Games, Undead Labs, and Ninja Theory, and the other new studio that they're working on. Good for them. But that type of stuff right there, even with that announcement, they should have already had those games, you know what I'm saying, ready. Whether it be trailers or whatnot, those things should have been ready. And that was pretty much it, though. Crackdown 3 was shown, which is a slap to the face of everybody, because why was the game delayed again? Oh, because it has to come out in February to go against Days Gone? No, that's suicide. It's pointless. It could have came out because that Halo doesn't have a release date. And a lot of us are already speculating that Halo is coming out for the new Xbox. And speaking of new Xbox, Phil Spencer even came out on stage and started talking about a new Xbox. And started talking about, the big upgrades that are coming to Game Pass. I wonder why, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder why. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there was a certain somebody on this channel with a panther for a logo that's been telling you what's been happening, or that was going to happen with Microsoft for quite some time, and people didn't want to listen, but you saw it with your own eyes. Microsoft is gearing up for you-know-what, and I'm not going to say it here, but that was that. Microsoft's E3 in a nutshell. Good show in terms of presentation. Was it a boring show? Absolutely not. It wasn't a boring show. It was better than last year's and the year before that. Great show. But I'm sorry. For people to say that they won over presentation and all that, I'm sorry. Nah, they didn't. So that was that. Now let's get into Sony's. And I think a lot of you already guessed who I think won this event. A lot of you have already know who I'm about to say won this event. If you followed me on Twitter, you basically saw my post. I posted on Twitter. Okay? Sony brought the heat. Now, granted, they didn't show much, and I did see people saying Sony's conference was weird because the way they started it off. For example, they started off under they were in a tent somewhere for like a live, it looked like a festival, and they had I've got his name, but his name is Gustavo. I think his name is Gustavo. He does the soundtrack for The Last of Us. He did it for the first one, and now he's coming back for The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us soundtrack was really, really well done, so I'm definitely It was good to see him, and I'm glad to see that his career took off with The Last of Us. That's cool to see. But he was there live and he was performing a song, and then they immediately pushed, or they immediately went right to the show, which was at Sony's reveal, which was basically, actually no, I'm sorry, no, they didn't go to immediately to the show. They went to the gameplay for The Last of Us Part 2 with Ellie, and oh my god, that gameplay, which you guys are looking at on screen, oh my god, let me tell you something. The Last of Us Part 2, everything about it was simply stunning. The gameplay was great. The detail when she shot the girl in the face when she was about to be pulled from under the truck, and you can see the burn marks on her face and how the blood dynamically fell from her cheek and she fell over lifeless. That is what I'm talking about. That right there is what Microsoft needs. First party talent. It's no point in you saying you got the world's most powerful console when you cannot deliver an experience like that. That was just beautiful. Beautiful. And nobody's fanboying. That's just us being upfront with you. Everybody's being upfront here. That was a beautiful set piece. Beautiful. Everything about that. You know what I'm saying? From the stealth mechanics, which definitely looks better. They definitely improved that. It looks like they took a little bit of elements from Tomb Raider. I will give them that. They did take a few elements from Tomb Raider. It seemed like just by the way she crouches with Ellie. But that was good. The bow can now be. Well, you can now craft different bow types, which is like flame, explosives, similar to Tomb Raider. So you already know what they're doing because Tomb Raider did take a lot from Uncharted. So, hey, why not them take something from Tomb Raider? It only seems fair. And the game just looked good. No clickers were shown, but it was mostly humans and stealth gameplay. But nice. Very, very nice. Definitely a nice demo. And ironically, at the end of this show, I was immediately looking on Twitter to see, I wonder what people are talking about. And I was shocked at the end of the show. You see, usually a lot of people will go, Last of Us was the game of show, right? But surprisingly, Naughty Dog was dethroned this year. They were dethroned. And no, they weren't dethroned by Capcom with the Resident Evil 2 remake. Oh, no, not the Resident Evil 2 remake, which looked great. Oh, man, that was good memories right there. I almost wanted to cry on stream because that was some good memories right there. That was some good memories. But shout out to J-Wax for that, too. That was a good stream, too. That was a great, great time. And him and Carlos, that was definitely a good time. But looking at that demo, right, that wasn't the game that people were talking about. It was Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is definitely the game of show. Yes, this game outshined even Spider-Man, people. I'm not even going front. It outshined Spider-Man. Spider-Man, you already know that's my most anticipated game. I am looking forward to it. I will be playing that. I cannot wait to play that. That is just a beautiful looking game. Everything about it. But I can sit here and give credit where credit is due. Ghost of Tsushima was simply beautiful. The way everything looked, from the leaves, from the direction, and how dynamic the trees went with the wind. I mean, it really seemed like a movie. Legit, like a movie. Something like a Kung Fu movie. And they just able to replicate and give you the deflecting of the combos, everything like that. The guard and the sword looked absolutely brutal, and it was perfect, and it made you respect the culture of Japanese culture even more, and that was really well done, very well done. And speaking of more ninja games, Sony showed Nioh 2 on the stage as well. So Nioh 2 is also coming out for the PlayStation 4 and whatever else, but Nioh 2 was also shown. Just great. That was absolutely great. I love that. But the game of show, which you already know, I think Ghost of Tsushima is the game of show. But the highlight from the show, right? This was a highlight. And this is why I believe Sony won. Sony had Remedy. Yes, Remedy from Microsoft Studios. Remedy pretty much was on, well, they weren't on stage, but they debuted their game on Sony stage. And their game is called, what was that game called? Shit. I forgot the name of it. But basically, this game is Quantum Break 2. It's Quantum Break 2. It is the closest thing you're going to get to Quantum Break 2, ladies and gentlemen. It pretty much is. It's the closest thing you're going to get. Everything else at this point is like icing on the cake. But for Sony to get these crazy, just to pull off this magic in front of us, you know what I'm saying? You can't help but just, applaud them. You really can't help but applaud them. And again, if you don't like Sony Studios, if you don't like Sony games, that's understandable. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's here to tell you what you like or don't like, right? We're not here to tell you what you don't like, but Sony definitely brought the heat. They definitely brought the heat. They put on a good show. When I tell you this show was great, it was great. It was a great show. Oh, Control, that's the name of it, Control. There you go, it's Control. I had it in my notes here. Control. Control is the closest thing to Quantum Break, like I just said. Literally, me and J-Wax were picking up on this immediately the moment it was shown. We were like, okay, that's similar to Quantum Break. You know what I'm saying? From the freezing of the bullets, from the way she was moving with the gun, and how she was just seamlessly, knocking these dudes out. A lot of people were saying it was similar to that movie Lucy with Scarlett Johansson. But this game is basically Quantum Break 2. And for that to be on a PlayStation platform, debut on a PlayStation platform at their event was a massive W for them. So that was pretty cool. That's pretty much it. Sony's event was great. Microsoft's event was great. Nintendo's, it's going to be iffy, really, because you're like, I understand there's a lot of diehard Nintendo fans. I actually got to talk to a few of them, so it's going to be iffy with those guys if they like that one or not. I didn't really, jump out my seat over the Nintendo one. But yeah, that's just the comment, or that's just what we saw. It was a great show. E3 2018 was definitely worth the watch. And I want to thank Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo for definitely, giving gamers something to talk about and having us all walk away happy. Thank you for that. That was definitely a better E3 than last year. As far as who won, I'm gonna have to give that to Sony. Sony's games were amazing. And I'm not going to take anything from Microsoft's games. Microsoft's games look good as well. But let's be real here. Out of all the games that were shown on the Microsoft stage, did any of the games on that stage look on par with Ghost of Tsushima? Or even tell a story similar to Ghost of Tsushima? It made you respect the lore? Did it make you do that? Exactly, it didn't. There was nothing on the Microsoft stage that can do that. Nothing. Halo is Halo. Gears is Gears. Forza is Forza, people. But, hey, we already beat that topic to death, haven't we? So that's my final verdict. Sony definitely was a great. Sony definitely took the W. Okay, E3 was a great show, and Sony walked away with the win. Absolutely, great show, and I have no shame in admitting that. Just a great time. So for those of you who if you're not familiar with Sony shows, definitely go check that out if you did not see it. But it was a good show. The same thing goes for Microsoft, and I guess you can say Nintendo for the Nintendo guys. But yeah, that was it. My final verdict was Sony took the win for E3 this year. As far as if I had to rate them, Sony I'll give like a 9 for the games alone. It's like a 9 because they really made me excited. So it was like a 9. Microsoft I give like a 7, which is fair, very very fair. And for Nintendo, for me, it didn't really do much for me. I mean, I did like the Super Mario Party, but it didn't do much for me. You know what I'm saying? Those games didn't really interest me as much. If I was younger, maybe I'll give it like a 10, but I'll give it like a 5. Sorry, I just wasn't really interested in Nintendo. So just being honest. But yeah, that's E3 2018. Better than last year. Great show. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the next video, and happy gaming, people. Deuces.